Hey, it's Jen of Vegan Adventures of Jean and Jen, and I actually already ate my cucumber, apple, and snow peas little container. You know how I make these every day? I've got this one with the carrots and celery. Usually I end up eating only one of them, but I did run a 5K this morning, and I'm a little bit hungrier, which no surprise there. I had a couple helpful hints for people that were starting out, and I thought this might be a really good time to talk about it. One thing is, I think you want to really watch the variety, because a lot of variety will tend to make you go crazy and eat a lot of stuff. You're gonna wanna limit your starch to like one type of starch a day. And I just found out that I think McDougall's program, or maybe Mary's Mini, or one of them does that, and I didn't know that. So that's kind of cool, but. I limit mine, and the reason I only eat, like I picked potatoes because I really like potatoes. If you don't like potatoes, do rice. But the secret is to just take your starch amount down slowly. You don't want to go overnight just going from eating everything in the world to eating hardly anything either. But you want to take your starch down slowly. Like for me, I like potatoes. If I had started this out and I was eating potatoes and rice and beans and tacos and pizza and all kinds of stuff, it would have been really, really hard for me. The best thing is to be consistent with what you eat every day. Like this is for tomorrow. It's like 12:30 right now. There's an apple cut up in here, a cucumber, and then I'm going to take the rest of these snow peas and jam them in here. And that's going to be for tomorrow, because this way, this stuff is always ready. And you get used to eating what you eat, and that's cool. I mean, just to get used to eating what you're eating, starving. Because a lot of times, I think we have this fear built in that we're going to starve to death. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to starve. It's going to be terrible. What will happen? And that's not the case. You're not going to starve to death if you eat enough food. And like when you start out with what I do, you're eating 950 calories a day of starch, plus as many non-starchy vegetables as you want, and a bowl of ice cream. I don't see how you can be hungry. If you, as my mom would say, maybe if you're hungry in your head, like, you know how that is. Like when little kids want a Pop-Tart and they cry if you don't give them one, they're not really hungry for a Pop-Tart. They're just hungry. In their head, they want stuff. So for me, the variety, not the best option. Find some non-starchy vegetables that you really like and eat. If you say, oh my gosh, I hate cauliflower, don't make a bowl this big of raw cauliflower. Why would you do that? Celery and you like to dip them in something that isn't like horrible for you, go for it. Or like this combination, I like to salt it. I eat it with chopsticks. Snow peas, cucumbers, and apple, really good with a little bit of salt. It gives you that salty and sweet. Not everybody agrees with me on that. I am boiling my broccoli over here. Hang on just 1 second. Just gotta check it because I don't like when it's mushy. Ooh, my broccoli is done, so you get to be here for the broccoli sweat maneuver. I put my broccoli sweat, people call it pot liquor, Chef AJ does, I think. And I put it in here. I've already had it today. I put it in here for tomorrow. When it cools off a little bit, I will, I'll throw it in the fridge. But for right now, I just put it in here. And then tomorrow morning, when I'm starting to get hungry, you'll see it. See, there it is. When I'm starting to get hungry or whatever, I'll warm some of this up. And when I first started drinking it, I should say, I used to put like a little garlic powder in there, powder, because it made it very soup tasting. Honestly, salty drink of it. It's totally weird. I'm not going to say it's weird. After you get used to it, you're like somebody who goes to throw the because you're used to it. So that was the big complicated broccoli sweat. My friend Scarlett was like, I never boiled any vegetables. She must just be a vegetable roaster. I will say, I never liked boiled cauliflower very much. My mom always made it that way because that's just what she did. And I had some left over from a veggie tray, and I threw it on top of my sweet potato fries a while ago, and that's how I tasted roasted cauliflower for the first time, and it was super good. So anyways, what I was say, and not and take 20 minutes to say it, was do a crazy variety of starches. It just distracts you. You want to get really, really consistent where you're food every day. You're not going to be hungry, so you don't have to worry about that. You have enough food for you to eat, so you don't have to play it by ear. Somebody said that yesterday. Whenever they just kind of play it by ear, it's a disaster. And it's true, because playing it by ear means ordering a vegan pizza. It means eating a giant bowl of rice. It doesn't mean, oh, let me go to the farm market and pick out some vegetables. That's not what it means. Oh, let me grill some vegetables. No, it means, what am I going to eat because I have an excuse? So for me, I think you're much better off to not have a huge variety of food that you eat. Now, like, let's say you're going to go out to like P.F. Chang's or maybe an Italian restaurant and you want to eat pasta. I don't eat processed food, so I don't eat pasta. I just don't. But if I wanted to eat rice, maybe at P.F. Chang's, I really love rice. And I don't make it a lot at home because I don't, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just, I don't know, it's cold and rainy here and I'm a very crunchy person. So anyway, if I knew that, I was going to go to P.F. Chang's and maybe order like a bunch of steamed vegetables, and you can do that. You don't have to get them cooked in oil and sauce. You can ask for them steamed. If I was going to order a bunch of, let me get this out of here, a bunch of steamed vegetables, and I knew I was going to get some rice, and I love that they have brown and white rice there, then I would just not eat my potatoes that day, knowing I am super crispy. Hey, that's my angel. Aw, hi, sweetie. Knowing that I'm like somebody who loves rice and I like the brown rice, then I would just probably not eat my potatoes, and I'd know I'm going to go have a giant Jethro-sized bowl of rice with my steamed vegetables, and I'm all set. Like, it's good, you know, it's kind of a give and take, but if you start eating all kinds of crazy varieties of food, you're just going to eat a lot of stuff that you don't need to eat. Like, I see people, they're so excited about their food. Food is like not supposed to be as exciting as your life. Like, people are like psyched to eat stuff. They're like all, I can't wait to eat this. I can't wait to eat that. Like, I don't know. Is that the most exciting thing that we've got going on? I don't know. The other thing that I want to talk about, everybody asks, do you exercise and all this kind of stuff? And I do. But over this period from May until now, which is like the middle, almost end of July, I've had 3 different 10-day periods where I couldn't exercise at all. This is a very long story and sort of off topic, but I had my eyebrows microbladed, and you can't sweat for 10 days. So I spent basically 30 days out of the last 3 months not exercising because I couldn't sweat. So I think it's really true when they say, your abs are made in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. You can't exercise a bad diet. And if you look at that picture of me from before, you can see that I was working out all the time and I had a bad diet and it didn't matter. I was working out for an hour a day and it didn't matter at all. So it really depends on what you eat. But if you go into this thinking you're going to eat a ton of variety and you're going to start eating all kinds of stuff like crazy, you're not going to have very good success. And that's why I like what I do with my potatoes, because I know how much I'm going to get to eat. I know I'm not going to be hungry. And a lot of times people, they starve themselves. Like, they're like, okay, I'm not going to eat today. Well, that's great, because by 11 o'clock, you're like really, really hungry. So what are you going to do now? You're still going to eat stuff. You have to have a plan. And that's why, like, this is for tomorrow. It's like 12:30 right now. This is for tomorrow morning. I've got this ready to go. I'm eating a little bit of this because I'm actually pretty hungry today. But I'm not like chomping it while I talk to you. But I'm eating this now. But my broccoli is done. So I'm going to eat my broccoli in a few minutes. And then my potatoes and cauliflower will be done in about a half an hour. So by the time I'm done eating my broccoli and I clean up that and do a couple other things, that'll be done. After I eat that, I'm usually really full. So people are making food like such an event. And it's like this potato cleanse thing. I know people really liked it, and that's great. But the one thing there is everybody is obsessed with food. Like, I think some of these things lead to an obsession. I made a potato pizza. I made a potato piece of bread. I made a potato this or that. Just eat the food. Just eat it and then get on with your life. Like, every meal does not need to be an event. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I don't know. Do you know any people that are chefs that are not really large? Except for Chef AJ, she eats like, I eat like her pretty much. So, but besides her, do you know any chefs that you can think of that aren't really large? No, because they taste and eat a variety of all the stuff they cook all the time. So for me, that just does not work. You have to be consistent all the time. You might eat the same thing every day for a month. If that really bugs you, maybe switch around your non-starchy vegetables or whatever, or if you're going to eat rice one day, or maybe you are going to have pasta, or you're going to eat beans, make it the same amount of calories that you were going to eat of potatoes. That's the only thing I can tell you, because if you do anything different, it's not going to work. Nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear that you can just eat and eat and eat and eat whatever you want. Yes, Gordon Ramsay is awesome, but he's so busy swearing and throwing things at people that he doesn't have time to be fat. He doesn't. And he doesn't even cook anything. If you watch, he just goes around the country shouting at people. But if you watch, like, is it Mario Batali and the Diners drive-in guy with the bad hair? Like, these people are all uncomfortably large, and I'm sure that they're not happy about that. Who's the guy that wears those hideous Crocs and shorts? That might be Mario. Oh, it's horrendous. When I was getting my nails done, they had that show The Chew on. It was vile. They're like pouring cups of olive oil in, and he's got Crocs on, and he's sweating profuse. It was just disgusting. Anyways. Oh, Guy Fieri. Okay, yeah, it's Jade. Jade is watching, and she's chatting to me, so, which is nice because I miss her so much. But we'll have to do this with Jade, because Jade has actually changed her eating habits quite a bit, and she's feeling really good, and she's looking super cute like she always did, and she's stealing my clothes. So, yeah, there's that. But anyway, I was just saying, like, it's really important to not lose your mind and not just go, like, this is an event. I can't wait to eat this, this, and this. Like, you go to bed thinking about what you can't wait to eat tomorrow. It's great that you like your food, but sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal. Like, I am not all like, oh my God, I love celery. I can't wait to get up in the morning and eat celery. But you know what? I know that celery doesn't make me fat. So, oh, I miss you too, my precious angel. We're working way too much. We have to stop this. But celery, carrots, you know I don't love them. But you know what? I've grown to like them. The first few times I ate this stuff, I was like, oh, this is freaking horrible. Like, bring on the vegan blue cheese. Like, how am I going to get this down? But now I'm like, yeah, and it's really no big deal. But you have to recondition yourself to that this is what real food is. Pop-Tarts are not real food. Sour cream is not real food. All that, boxed cereal is not real food. That's not food. Food is plants. That's what food is. It's plants. And so when you grind it into flour and you totally annihilate all of its nutritional value and especially like pasta, things like that, then none of that stuff is food. You're never going to have the satiation that you have eating potatoes, eating pasta. If you eat a bowl of potatoes this big and you eat a bowl of pasta this big, I guarantee you after that pasta you will be hungry much more soon than you would have been with the potatoes. I find that with rice, which is why I eat potatoes as most of the time for my starch. Once in a while, like I said, if we're traveling or whatever, or Jean really wants that, I will make the rice for myself, and I know that's what I'm going to have. But I still eat all of the same non-starchy vegetables. I make sure I eat a lot of them because rice is not as easily digestible. So, oh, the UK, what time is it there? It's got to be like 5? It's got to be like dinner time there, I would think. I don't know. But it's rainy and freezing here, so I don't know. It looks like it's 5 o'clock here, and it's not. But anyway, that is all I wanted to really say was you just having a variety and living for food. See, I was close, 5:40. Yeah, about 5 hours. Having a crazy amount of variety and living to eat is really not going to help you. It's not. And no matter how much you exercise, you can't out-exercise the choices you make in the kitchen. So for me, it's easier to set up my plan. This is what I'm going to eat. And I know the best part is it's not like when you're on a diet and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be starving. I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to be so bitchy. I have all this mountains of food to eat. I eat more than Gene a lot of the time because he eats like bread and bagels and English muffins and all kinds of other stuff. Gene eats a lot. He eats processed food because he can. Protein bars, protein shakes, granola bars. He eats all that kind of stuff. I don't eat that stuff. But I eat, the volume is a lot more than, Gene would never eat this many carrots. This is like 4.75 cups. He would never eat this much, ever. But he would eat like a granola bar and be like, yeah, I'm good. Or I would eat the granola bar and still be hungry. So I eat a larger volume of food than him, but probably a much lower calorie density. But that's the thing. You know you have your starch, so you're not starving yourself. You know that you're doing well, but you don't have to eat a million different kinds of food. You have all the non-starchy vegetables in the world. Make that your variety. Don't make the starch your variety. You don't want to eat a giant bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, a giant bowl of quinoa for lunch, and a huge bowl of rice for dinner, because you will use up the caloric allowance that you have, because calories really do matter. They do. And you can't just blab it and grab it and, I can eat whatever I want because it's a plant food. I'm going to eat this and think it's going to be okay, because it's not. It's absolutely not going to be okay. And you'll find a way to overeat all of that stuff. You've got to get your non-starches in there. You have to be consistent. Every single day you need to be consistent with what you're eating. Every day you have to, this thing is saying I have a really bad connection, so I'm probably coming like in and out, but every day you have to plan, prep, have your stuff ready. Like I've got my, hold on. I have a whole bunch of these in the fridge because I eat broccoli every day because I like it. You don't have to eat broccoli every day, but I eat 2 of these a day. That's what's in that pan over there where I made the broccoli sweat. So I have a bunch of these in the fridge. They're ready to go. When I bring them home, I take them and I put them in the containers right away so that it's not difficult. You want to make it as easy as possible because people in general are lazy, and if we can grab something fast, we will. And so if this is ready and you can grab it, that's the way to do it. My fridge is always like this. I've got everything is in there. I've got cantaloupe, pineapple. I don't eat too much fruit. I usually eat I eat ice cream at night. If I'm really low on non-starchy vegetables, I might eat some fruit like when we're traveling. But usually what's funny is like now I'm eating a little bit more of these than I normally would. So I'm eating a little bit more of these than I normally would eat. And I probably will have a little less ice cream tonight. It's your body kind of regulates itself, and you will notice that. I don't count calories. I just make sure that I'm getting enough starch. That's why I divide my starch into the bags like that, because I know when I have to shop again, and then I know when I'm getting enough starch. I always know that if I'm being irrational, if I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving, I'm dying, I'm starving. Once I've eaten my potatoes, if I'm still hungry, I can have any kind of non-starchy vegetables I want, and I have my ice cream. If I'm still hungry after my ice cream and I don't want to eat these non-starchy vegetables, I'm probably not hungry. I'm just munchy and snacky. So that's, I guess, pretty much all I wanted to say was to just make sure that you don't go crazy with variety. I think once you've done this for a couple of months, it's a lot easier. Like the time that we were traveling when I didn't have potatoes for the extra day that we stayed, and I knew I ate about 800 calories of potatoes a day, I ate 800 calories of rice. That was the way to do it. It made it much easier for me to do it that way. And not like try to go out, buy potatoes, figure out how many I needed to eat, whatever. And that's the other thing somebody asked me too, was how many potatoes a day do you eat? And I don't know how to make this clear. I don't count how many potatoes I eat. I divide them up into the piles. That's why I do it that way, because I don't want to weigh, measure, and count my food. I just, when I get the bags, I just divide it up and go, I have this many days of food, and I throw them in the fridge and I'm done. It's not, I don't weigh and measure. It's not a weighing and measuring program. It's the last thing in the world that I want anyone to do. I think it gives people eating disorders. I think it causes people immense amount of stress, and it causes you to obsess about food, which is, God knows, the last thing in the world. Like, there's so many other things in your life you could be doing than worrying about food. Then, what does Dr. McDougall says, majoring minor things. People are like, oh my God, there's arsenic in rice. Like, give me a break. Just stop. If you weigh 300 pounds, it doesn't matter that there's arsenic in rice. Or they're like, if I don't eat a little bit of tahini with my greens, I won't absorb, the nutrients in my greens. If you weigh 300 pounds, it doesn't matter. You've got all the nutrients you need. You're set. People are micromanaging the stupidest little things because they don't want to deal with the real problem. And the real problem is that you can't eat everything you want. You can't. You can't eat whatever you want all the time. It doesn't work like that. If you want to be healthy and fit and you want to feel good and not be disease-ridden, then you can't eat everything in the world. You can't. Whole plant foods are the best thing for you. They're the only thing that has healed so many people that I know. And, you can watch like Tanny Ross. She talks all the time about all of the different ways that she is healed from disease and horrible digestive issues and acne, skin, all kinds of things through all of her raw vegetables. And I think that it's still really important for people to eat as many raw vegetables as they can. And Chef AJ says the same thing. You want to eat as many raw vegetables as you can eat all the time. That's why I say I measure out my starch, the whole mom's thing, and then as many non-starchy vegetables as you want, because you won't overeat them because they're boring. After a while, you're like, ugh, I don't care. So I hope I was clear about that. I don't, even though I do exercise a lot and I run a lot now, when I was originally losing a lot of the weight, I didn't, because I couldn't, or it was a time where we weren't going to the gym a lot. Sometimes Jean's schedule is so bad and so is mine that we just can't go. Like during snowplow season, we don't sleep a lot, and so sometimes when you've been out plowing for a couple of days, you just need to go home and go to bed for like a day, and that's just the way it is, and we don't go to the gym when you're that tired. So that's really about it. I hope I answered some of the questions. I tried to make an actual video, but my phone is now saying it's full and that I don't have any storage and all kinds of other nonsense. So I'm like, I'll just go live and they'll upload it. And it keeps saying I have a really bad connection, but hopefully, I'll have to check the mail. Hopefully our new internet stuff came, because we're going to switch internet. So hopefully that will change everything. And I guess that's it. I'm going to take off and go eat my broccoli because I have 15 minutes to my potatoes and cauliflower. They're in there. I can take you over. So exciting. Looks pretty good. So I've got a few minutes to that, and that'll be it. I will talk to you guys later. If you have questions, please leave them below or send me a message. I don't know how to get YouTube messages, so either send me a message on Instagram or like leave them below or yeah, make a comment and I'll try to answer them. And I guess that's all. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. If you don't like them, I never ever care. I'll see ya.